रेडी? आप पहले 100 भी लिखेंगे, कॉमन वर्ड के पार्ट 2 से बोल रहा हूँ 10 और 11 नंबर। पहले 100 भी लिखेंगे फिर कम पर लिखेंगे। स्टार्ट इट। Mr. Speaker, sir, in the last 50 years, our food grains production has increased 4 times. Import of food grains for the people is the thing of the past. Our population has increased tremendously, but I am grateful to the farmers for making us self-sufficient in food grains. You will be happy to know that with the efforts of our farmers, our food grains production was 20 crore tons last year. This includes both rich and rice and wheat. Our country has experienced both green and white revolutions. Due to the white revolution, India today is the world's largest producer of milk. Our focus today is to improve agricultural production. That is why the areas that receive meager rainfall need special attention. In areas where agriculture is totally dependent on rainfall, dryland farming, the stress is on improving agricultural production by using science and technology. We have to do a lot for the hardworking farmers, so we have decided to give special emphasis on the welfare of agricultural labor, especially landless laborers. Since he is backward and in extreme poverty, there is need for his insurance so that in case of his unfortunate demise, his family members do not lack food. In the field of agricultural reforms, there are some more issues which are under consideration, and we will try to introduce a bill in the next session of Parliament. The slogan of Garibi Hatao was given a long time back. The policy of my government is how to translate it into reality. Today I have said that in our agricultural economy, around 60 to 65% people are dependent on agriculture. It is with extreme sadness that I say that the land reforms have not been implemented honestly. Our country cannot progress unless the people who actually work on fields get the land. Therefore, I prompt you, especially those states where land reforms have not been implemented, to lay stress on this and to formulate such a program that within the next 1 or 2 years it will translate this into reality. Poverty and illiteracy are two sides of the same coin, and they should be eradicated. The welfare of the laborers and the poor classes should not be promoted not only with agriculture but by setting up the cottage and small scale industries. Unemployment of educated unemployeds needs to be reduced. It has one solution, and that is economic progress and advancement. Mr. Vice Chairman, sir, this policy is being followed for the past many years of levy price and market price. The state governments are always put to difficulty in implementing this dual price policy announced by the central government. Instead of resorting to this dual price policy, which ultimately helps industrialists and black marketers, they should think of the poor. About prohibition, the government must take a decision to have a uniform policy throughout the country. It has been enshrined in our constitution as a directive principle, and so there must be uniform policy throughout the country. If a state government wants to implement this policy at present, a difficulty is always there from adjacent state, and so the government should come forward to take a policy decision that the government of India will always help those states which are prepared to implement the prohibition policy. The Finance Commission has been emphasizing this aspect, that the central government must help the state who are prepared to implement the prohibition policy. About the center-state relations, a new approach, a new attitude, a new thinking must be forthcoming from the new government, which has got the support of all political parties, including regional parties. Pandit Nehru used to share the problems of the country with all the chief ministers. A new chapter must be opened now. All state governments must be taken into confidence in all the problems that are facing the country. The state leaders and the state governments must be treated as equal partners in governing this country. There should be a new approach without centralizing everything. We must try to decentralize everything. We have tried our best for the past many years to have a centralized administration uniformly in all policies. Now we must have faith in state leadership. I assure that no state can thrive or survive without the help of the center or the adjacent state or other states. They should not make the states beg the center always for help. The center should not try to thrust the central schemes on state administrations. The central government must encourage the state government to tap all the resources of revenue available within the state and give powers to them. The new government must learn something from the Russian history and should also take a lesson from it. 789 वर्ड्स है, 100 की स्पीड है. कौन वर्ड के पार्ट 2C का 10 नंबर है. नेक्स्ट लिखेंगे 80 के आसपास. रेडी, स्टार्ट इट. Mr. Vice Chairman, Sir, I must express my gratitude to all the honorable members for expressing their views on different aspects of the growth of Delhi city. After passing the Constitution Amendment Bill, there was hardly any scope for such a lengthy discussion on this bill. But every honorable member wanted to express all the ideas that he must be having about the future setup of Delhi, and that is why I must welcome the suggestions which have been made by different honorable members. Sir, I must first refer to the points made by the honorable leader of the opposition. He has referred to Sarkaria Committee's report, and also he has referred to 3 aspects. The first was about a nodal ministry. The nodal authority, in fact, is supposed to coordinate the activities of all the different agencies of Delhi. So also a point was made about the over centralization. The other committee has referred to that aspect also. I am sure in the same report, if you have to go still further, there is a definite reference about the advantages and disadvantages of having a full statehood being given to Delhi. If the honorable members were to go through it, they will be more than convinced that what we have to look is to two aspects which I had clearly mentioned in my speech which I gave this morning. One is the legitimate aspirations of the Delhi people that they should get representation and have a democratic setup, and another is the responsibility to be discharged by the government, being the national capital. Delhi is not a small area to be administered by the representatives only of Delhi. Why the government of India is spending huge amount of money on different aspects of the development of Delhi? That is because of the fact that, after all, this is a national capital and all the amenities which have been provided for the Delhi city will have to be of a standard, then people are bound to feel happy by comparing the development that is obtaining in different capitals in different countries. So, sir, from that point of view, while all the arrangements have to be made for a democratic setup, there should be no block for want of financial and other resources. I can tell that 85% is being provided for continuing schemes. Mr. Deputy Speaker, sir, I will raise certain points to which I hope the Minister will pay his attention and reply to my points. In this report of the Housing Ministry, it is said that housing facilities will be provided to the employees, etc. While formulating the housing policy, I request the Minister to make necessary provision for accelerating provision of housing facilities to the poorer persons in the rural areas, because the poorer sections of our society, like the landless peasants, have no shelter to live under. So, if any provision is made for the purpose, at least they will be benefited, and the country like ours will be benefited. Again, I think the Ministry is very keen regarding clearance of the slums or improvement of the slums. But when I remember Calcutta, the thousands of slums which are here come to my mind, and you can imagine never that civilized persons in the 20th century are living in these areas. The slums are in such a condition that man cannot live there. What steps have so far been taken by the government I cannot understand. So I urge upon the minister the immediate necessity of paying attention to those slums, because during the 30 years of Congress regime, it is found that nothing has been done for them and no improvement is there. So I request the Honorable Minister to take necessary steps to clear the slums immediately. I want to mention here that after 30 years of Congress regime, they said talk less, work more, but it was detected by the people that it was a hollow slogan. That is why they were driven out. I want to request the minister to make a note of it, improve the position and clear the slums so that people can live in a proper manner. It is stated in the report that there is a provision of funds and the employees will be given necessary advance for the construction of houses. But there are so many difficulties that after the submission of the application, lot of time lapses and no response is given by this department. A lucky few do receive money, but by that time the cost of building material rises. As such, the advance given to them cannot satisfy their requirement. I hope that the minister will take note of it and take the responsibility of construction. 792 वर्ड्स है, 80 की स्पीड है, फ्लक्चुएशन 5 से 7 वर्ड अपसाइड है। कौन वर्ड के पार्ट 2C का 11 नंबर है। ये सेट कंप्लीट हो गया और आप इसके बाद